You see, the problem with Cat Williams is that he likes healthy competition. Real competition. Not everybody gets a participating trophy. He was saying that at that Comedy View, since they did it for TV, at first they would just throw people out there and see what the public likes the best, who the public likes the best. Then they started, and he got like 3 standing ovations. Then they started giving all of them standing ovations. That's just, it's ridiculous. It makes everything very flat and bland, and that's not real life. I love it when he said, as long as Egypt is in Africa, folks, Egyptians were African. Because a lot of people, they still fight tooth and nail to, no, they weren't black. They weren't, one archaeologist said they weren't Enners. Ridiculous. 12 times Cat Williams sponsored his own shows. And, you got these other comedians up here crying that I can't get enough pay for them to sponsor me. He had $25,000 to his name. He invested $22,000 into the show, and of course probably made a bundle. Obviously because he did it 12 times. He says, how do I expect you to invest in me if I won't invest in me? And that makes great sense. He says that Cat says they don't like the fact that he's afraid of white women because he knows what white women can do. That they put them in as plants to control the black man, and then a lot of them have ended up very bad, dead. A lot of them have ended up dead. I mean, look at Jonathan Majors. I mean, his career's destroyed. I don't know if he'll be able to rebuild it, hopefully. But they were marketing him like the handsomest man in the world, and then all of a sudden he was nothing. All of a sudden he's a criminal, a rapist, a thug. All because of the white woman, and it was proven that he was running away from her. So Cat has a healthy fear of them, and white entertainment doesn't like that. Now I must say, make no mistake, a lot of the trash and dirty stuff that you hear that goes on in entertainment, it goes on in the white entertainment too, okay? Absolutely, they just don't talk about it. They don't like to talk. I have white friends, and they tell me, we don't have a relationship with our kids like you guys. We don't talk about stuff like that with our kids and with our family. I get told that all the time when I went to one of my best friends, and she was white, she was Irish, died 4 years ago, and they didn't even want to make a memorial for her. I made a memorial for her. And it just baffled the mind. What? So yeah, they don't talk about stuff like we do. They're not boisterous about things like black people are and Latinos are. Appearance and money is everything to them. So to most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them. And so yeah, they don't like that they can't control Cat Williams. And so what do? If they can't control you, they hate you, they trash you. That's what they do. He passed up $50 million 5 times because Kevin Hart kept doing the roles that he wanted, that he had rejected because of the little step and fetch stuff in him. And then Martin Lawrence tried to get him to get into a dress to do a movie with. I mean, it's just ridiculous, Just people keep selling out left and right, and the only thing he's asking is that people, have a fair playing field. If you're not a good comic, drop to the web. Win by merit. I love what he said about. He asked him who brings out the best in him, and he said, I don't have to be put in a situation where people are encouraging me to do my best. just when you give me the script, I'm going to do my best to bring that script to life. And that's what Viola Davis does. That's what Meryl Streep does too. But he says that he erases himself completely, who he is, so he can transform into this other character. So it's kind of like an acting masterclass too. I like the way he gave flowers to the common working man. Like when people say, I'm the hardest working person in show business. No, you're not. Everybody goes to work every day. The reason you should live every day, he says you should live every day like it's your last. I mean, okay, that's it. At night you say, okay, that's it. That's all you got. And if you leave it with that impact, if you live your life with that impact, then you'll live a good life. He says it's horrifying, and he's right. It's horrifying what they pay black actors and what they accept. It's horrifying. He says that people get offended when you say the word gatekeepers, but you're holding all these people basically hostage and not letting them do things because you won't let them in. You only pigeonhole them in certain roles, and you can only let them perform one at a time. I remember when Terrence Darby said that when he was famous in the 90s, when he was starting to get famous, they wouldn't let him become famous because they said, we already have someone like you. We have Prince. Well, first of all, they're different. They're very, very different. And second of all, so what? You should need to give people a variety. But no, what they want to do is they want to take someone like Prince and milk him and promote him, and they want to put everybody else down. Now, they usually only do that with black people. They don't do that with white people. They can be hundreds of white actresses out there, and Meryl Streep. Cat Williams says that if someone comes to him and asks for help and tells them that they want to change their life, like Suge Knight. I guess he's friends with Suge Knight, I don't know since when. But he's, helping him out. He says he's helping him change his life. I would assume by the way he speaks, about being religious, about having faith in God and being spiritual, that he will only help that person if they want to change their life and from bad to good. He just doesn't help for, certainly not going to help in evil. He says the truth has to be told in every circumstance. He said he was arrested only because he had a gun, which he carries for protection, and he smoked marijuana, which is illegal. But he did it for sleep and, to get to sleep after his complicated schedule. It's the only way it would make him hungry so he could eat, and relax him so he could sleep. That way he could perform. So they kept arresting him knowing that he was carrying a gun and he had marijuana, and they just kept arresting him. He said he didn't have any deep reflections in jail, like some people go in there and they want to change their lives. He said, no, I didn't want to change my life. I didn't have any deep reflection because I didn't make the decision to be there. He said it's his own it's his only medication because he does 100 city tours. But there's a lot of jewels in here. If you get a chance, listen to it yourself. And I don't know, I found it to be delightful. I've never watched an interview really before. They're so phony that it's just like, ugh. God knows if they're telling the truth. But he was very real, and he touched on a ton of subjects, and he gave away a lot of little jewels. So I really recommend it. So this is a wrap-up, guys. Much love. Please subscribe to the channel, and please hit the like. Please hit the like button for the algorithm. I'm going to subscribe to Shannon Sharpe's program. Please subscribe too. Let's blow this guy up because we need to support black media, man. I support a lot of black media channels, And that's the only way we're going to get big. Let's stop being envious and jealous of each other and learn from each other and pull each other up. That's what every other race does. And by participating in all this hatred and resentment towards each other and competition, all we are doing is letting them sabotage us. And we're sabotaging ourselves because we're working against each other. We're treating each other as if we're the competition, and we're not. So let's join together, finally, and make this thing work. You know that when we join forces, we are a resilient, powerful force. So let's do this. Love you guys. Stay safe and stay tuned. Join the tribe.